You're a genius.
That's why you married me.
Yeah. That's why I married you.
So it's not my big brain, it's the other large parts on my body.
Stop.
Let's be real.
Stop. Let's go, please.
Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to CJ's Keto Kitchen. I'm Sarah. If you are looking for home-style recipes made ketogenic, then you've come to the right channel. And tonight we are going to be making something very home-style. If your home is Italy, we are going to be making chicken cacciatore. So come along with me and let's get started. So chicken cacciatore is a very popular Italian food. It's very traditional. It is popular in both northern and southern Italy. And it is basically like a hunter's style stew made with chicken. It's very easy and it's a one-pot dish. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to need to start with already browned chicken. I am using bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs for this recipe, and I have 7. You could also use whole chicken cut up. So if you wanted to use hindquarters or just get an entire whole chicken and cut it up, that would also work well here. I would not recommend anything that was skinless because you do want that extra fat and texture. And cooking meat on the bone for this dish is very traditional and it adds to the flavor of the sauce. So I have already cooked my chicken, just browning it. It is not cooked through because that's going to finish cooking in the sauce. This is a one-pot meal, meaning the pot that I have browned my chicken in is also what we are going to make our sauce in and finish our chicken. You want to keep all of your drippings from cooking your chicken or browning your chicken because it's not completely cooked in your pot, because this is going to add to the flavor of our cacciatore sauce. So the first set of ingredients that we are going to add to our chicken drippings in our pot is half of a chopped onion and half of a bell pepper. I'm using green this time. You could use any color of pepper that you would like. And I just have my pan on about medium-low. And we are just going to let these soften just a bit before we add our garlic, because the pepper and onion are going to act as a bed for our garlic so that our garlic does not scorch. So I'm going to add about 3 cloves of fresh garlic. I'm also going to be adding 8 ounces of fresh mushrooms. I am using cremini. You can use any kind of mushroom that you like. And we are just going to keep stirring, scraping the bottom of our pan to get all of our delicious chicken bits off the bottom. So our vegetables have been sauteing for a few minutes, and now I'm going to add some fresh herbs. If you don't have fresh herbs, you could use powdered herbs. Something in the Italian vein would be great. But tonight I am using fresh herbs and I love them. They aren't very cost prohibitive and they last a long time in the refrigerator. In fact, I've had my thyme for a couple of weeks now. I'm going to be using some chopped fresh thyme and some chopped fresh basil. I'm going to be adding some 21 seasoning salute. If you don't have a Trader Joe's nearby, you can definitely use just an all-purpose seasoning. Mrs. Dash makes one and so does McCormick. And I'm just adding a bit of that. I'm also going to add some salt, and some pepper. The next ingredient that I'm going to be adding is some red wine. I'm going to be adding about 3/4 of a cup of dry red wine. It is very traditional in chicken cacciatore. I'm making the southern version, which usually prefers a red wine. If you were making the northern version, it's traditional to use white. Use whatever you enjoy. If you do not care to put wine in it, you can use a little bit of balsamic vinegar. But it is very traditional, and you don't need to worry about the wine because it cooks off in the process of making your stew. As I mentioned in the beginning, chicken cacciatore is very common in both southern and northern Italy. Sometimes in northern Italy they will add things like carrots to their cacciatore. I've chosen to add mushrooms, which naturally makes this a very ketogenic dish. So it doesn't necessarily market itself as a keto or low carb dish, but it is indeed that, especially if you don't serve it over pasta or rice or anything. The last element of our sauce before we put our chicken back in to finish cooking is tomatoes. I'm going to be using 28 ounces of canned tomatoes. Canned tomatoes are very traditional in this dish because they have a lot of moisture in them, and we are making a sauce. I am now going to return my browned chicken thighs into my sauce, put a lid on it, and let it simmer on medium-low heat for about 30 minutes or until your chicken is well cooked. So my cacciatore has come to a pretty strong boil, so I have turned the heat down. It's looking good. Okay, our chicken cacciatore has finished simmering, and I'm going to add one final thing before I serve. So you can see our chicken is nice and tender. The last thing that I'm going to add is a small can of olives. This is very traditional for chicken cacciatore. Or you could also add capers. Something briny or vinegary is very traditional for this dish. I'm just going to let that come to room temperature, and then I am going to serve, and we're going to let CJ have a taste. Okay, so here is tonight's delicious dinner. It's chicken cacciatore. We have a little bit of low-carb garlic cheese bread to go with it. And CJ is going to have a taste for us. Hi.
Hi.
It's time for some chicken cacciatore.
Yes. It's got really good flavor. It's wow, it's really good.
Good.
I think I mean, it's super simple, and it's a pretty famous dish. I don't know if people knew it was keto, but it is. So yeah, I think people will like it. Easy to make, one pot. Yeah, do it. Do it. Good job, baby. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.